Hello everyone. In this video we are discussing about a research paper titled as AWS Cloud Infrastructure versus Traditional On-Premise. Contents covered in this video are abstract introduction, advantages, Amazon Web Service Cloud Consoles, global infrastructure, limitations, advantages on on-premise data centers, drawbacks, figures and results, and conclusion. This research paper provides the customer with an overview of advantages of the Amazon cloud services over traditional approaches. So Amazon Web Services was launched in March 2006. AWS has over 1 million active enterprise customers around the world, and it offers a whole range of global cloud-based products, including computing, data storage, databases, analytics, networking, mobile developer tools, management tools, Internet of Things, security and applications, from data warehousing to deployment tools, directories delivery, and over 140 AWS services are accessible. So, introduction for this cloud computing. Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of computer power in information storage applications and different IT resources which can be made available through a cloud services platform via the internet with the pay as you go pricing, which means that as much as you are utilizing the cloud services, you need to pay accordingly. Cloud computing provides an easy way to access services, storage, databases, and a huge set of application services over the internet. A cloud service platform like Amazon Web Service owns and maintains the network-connected hardware needed for these application services, whereas the customer provision and uses what they would like via an internet application. In 2006, Amazon Web Service began providing IT infrastructure services, which had variety of net services currently normally called as cloud computing. Today, Amazon Web Service provides an extremely reliable, scalable, expandable platform within the cloud that powers many thousands of companies in 190 countries of the world. Advantages of Amazon Web Services over on-premise. So, avoid direct capital expense for variable capital expense. So, instead of having to invest a huge amount money in on-premise before any customers know how they are spending this money, so they can pay only for the computing resources and pay only for how much they are consuming the resources. So gain from massive economies. By using the cloud computing, the customer can achieve a lower variable cost uh, than they can get, or which might be higher when they buy their own. So because usage from the hundreds of thousands of customers is agreed in the cloud, so providers such as AWS can achieve a higher economies on scale, which translates into lower pay-as-you-go prices. So stop figuring out the best capacity. So AWS helps eliminate guessing on infrastructure capacity needs. When the customer makes an capacity decision prior to deploying an application, they often end up with sitting on expensive idle resources or dealing with the limited capacity. With AWS, the customer can access as much as or little capacity as they need and scale up and down as required within the few moments. So increased speed and increased agility. So in AWS environment, new IT resources are only a click away, which means that those resources to their developers from the weeks to just minutes. Less complications in running and maintaining data centers, and deploy your application globally. Amazon Web Services Cloud Consoles. To access these services, AWS has provided three ways. AWS Management Console. Managing Amazon Web Services. And Amazon Web Service Management Console consists of a list of various services to choose from. Then AWS Command Line Interface is an unified tool to manage the AWS services. Then Software Development Kits. AWS Service Development Kits simplify using AWS services in application with application program interface tailored to an artificial language platform. AWS serves for more than 1 million active customers around 190 countries. So the AWS cloud infrastructure is made around AWS regions and the availability zones. And AWS region is a physical location within the worldwide which has multiple availability zones. These availability zones give the customer power to work production applications and databases that are a lot of extremely available, fault tolerant and doable from one data center. Every availability zone is isolated. However, the availability zone in a region are connected through a low latency links. And it also provides the customer with flexibility to put the instance and store the data among any of the geographic locations. Limitation of AWS cloud, difficult service implementation, which requires expertise for their implementation and support. Of off-radar updates and modernization would be a challenging task for the cloud as it is very wide range. Less cooperation with open source communities, then quite a high price. It might be difficult for affording the price for the normal people or who are working. Database compatibility issues. Amazon's Aura, Redshift, and Dynamo database are compatible only with this Amazon Web Services, and they are not easy with the any other cloud services. Advantages of on-premise data centers. So total cost of ownership. Since the customer is only paying the license fees once, it has a lower total count than the cloud systems. Complete control. The customer has complete control over the data, software, and applications. Also, the customer decides the configurations, updates, and any changes that occur in the system. Uptime. Since the services are on premise, the customer do not have to rely on the internet connectivity or any external factors to access the softwares. Drawbacks of on-premise data centers. Large capital expenditure. Customers has to provide a huge upfront capital expenditures to purchase, support, upgrade and maintain the services and maintenance responsibility. Customer has to take full responsibility of the management for servers, scheduling backup, storage, disaster recovery and all. And more implementation time. Setting up the on-premise takes more time as each server takes more time for installations. Less services. So the on-premise won't run efficiently as AWS figures and survey results. So the first graphs show that public awareness with cloud computing is 92.2%. So these many people are aware of cloud computing. Only of a little, only around a 5% of the population is not aware. So public awareness with AWS cloud technology is around 89%. Then 87% of developers would choose Amazon Web Service Cloud for or on-premise for their applications. So this shows that AWS is best and better than the on-premise for developing purposes. And despite security concern, the overall confidence is 62.9% in public cloud. Conclusion: the major outcome of this research was to change the customer's perspective of AWS cloud and give more information on it should be preferred over a on-premise. This research is important for startups and small-sized companies as any other technology like AWS has its own limitation. But recently AWS Cloud has started sharing its resources with open source communities so that the issues can be found and resolved quickly to provide a more efficient user experience. Then, but as provided in this paper, AWS has more significant advantages over traditional centers. And this research paper can help the startups and the small companies, and it provides environment for and the infrastructure according to their budgets. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like it.